You are live. That's right. We are live. If you're just now joining me, or if you're catching this on the playback, just give it a moment for some people to join, and we'll continue to talk about the topics at hand. In the meantime, while we are waiting for people, we are going to do this. Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney. So, so this is what I want to speak on first for people joining. Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia made some comments about Devin Haney, and he believes that he can knock out Devin Haney. Well, here's the problem with that, Ryan. I support you. I think you have a lot of talent. I think you're a very good boxer. And I think, Ryan, that you could possibly be one of the top lightweights, possibly even being Teofimo Lopez. But here's the problem. If you don't believe in yourself, nobody will believe in you. So that's the issue with you, Ryan. And right now, you're not showing ability to believe in yourself. So if you don't believe in yourself, whenever you get in the ring, you're going to second guess yourself and you're going to make mistakes. And somebody like Devin Haney, who's as fast as Devin Haney is, can capitalize on that. Now, you had a very good fight against Luke Campbell, your biggest step up. You got dropped, came back to drop him and finish him by a body shot. Nobody stopped Luke Campbell like that. However, here's the problem. And by the way, guys, if you're just joining me, we'll talk about the topics at hand. I'm just letting people get in before I start talking about that and see if anybody wants to join the panel as well. So here's the deal. Devin Haney went on to fight Linares in his biggest step up. Yes, he was hurt. Yes, he was rocked. But unlike you, Ryan, he did not fall. He did not go down. And we could argue that Linares is a harder puncher than Luke Campbell. We could also argue that it's worse getting dropped than it is stumbling and holding on for dear life because you actually got dropped, whereas he stayed up on his feet. Now, I did see some flaws with Devin Haney. Don't get me wrong. Devin Haney, I do not at this point think he is chinny, and I don't think his chin is suspect. But what I do think is he doesn't really know how to survive. And what do I mean by that? How could I say that? Because he did survive. Yes, he did, but he showed a lot of vulnerabilities and not knowing what to do. I've brought this up more than once. There was a point in time in, I believe, the 11th round. It might have been the 12th round, actually, where Devin Haney, he locked up with Linares. The referee separated them, and immediately he didn't throw one punch, didn't try to do any type of offense or defense. He just ran in with his arms down and clinched up with Linares again. Now, if you do that against somebody who I don't want to say younger because we know Linares is older in his twilight years, but he's still a top competitor. I don't want to discredit the win, but if you do go against somebody like Tio or Ryan, who's younger, Tank Davis, who's going to recover much faster, and they're already quicker with their hands, you could possibly get put out if you run in trying to hug like that or clinch, however you want to word it. So I think Devin Haney lacks a defensive capability when he's hurt. Maybe it's because he's never truly been hurt before, and this was the first time, but he definitely needs to work on what to do when hurt. Because if you run in like that, like I said, against these guys who can knock you out in one shot, and you get caught like that, you're going to go to sleep, period. Period. You're going to go to sleep. So that's how I look at it. I don't put much stock into Ryan Garcia at the moment. He claimed that he had mental health issues. I don't really believe it. Um, I just think he didn't want to fight Fortuna. I think that's what it came down to. I don't think it came down to anything with mental health. Mental health right now seems to be a fad. You see people from fucking YouTube, Instagram, athletics, whether it be tennis, boxing, etc., all claiming mental health issues. It's like these things become a fad, and then you just see a whole bunch of people claiming it. I don't believe them all. I'm not saying all of them are lying, but I'm going to say a majority of them are just following along with the fad of using it as an excuse to get out of things. That's how I see it. People could disagree. It is what it is. Now, again, I am waiting for people to join. So we are going to change the banner to Floyd Mayweather if I can spell his name correctly. My fingers are too big. Versus Logan Paul. Can Logan win? That is the question. All right, so we're going to add this. All right. Can he win? Guess I'm going to have to do this whole damn live stream by myself because I'm not trying to stay on long today. Um, Here's the thing. I've done videos on this, so it's kind of like beating a dead horse at this point in time, being that, you know what I should do? Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. To anybody here, I will be right back. Let me post a comment saying, be right back, tagging video. I'm going to actually tag this video so it actually gets broadcasted. So I'll be right back, guys. If you're here listening, give me about 2 to 4 minutes and I'll be right back. All right, and we are back. That's right, we are back. We are back live. Sorry about that. If you were waiting for me to come back, even though nobody's typing, I put a tag on the video just to see if it picks up traction and other people to join who would just be searching this. Although it may be hard to find this on the search list because there's a million fucking things talking about Floyd Mayweather versus Logan Paul live stream here. It's all bullshit. They just doing it for clicks. I don't know why people fall for it, but there's no way on YouTube a fight will be broadcasted. That shit would get taken down so fast. But yeah, so Floyd Mayweather versus Logan Paul. Can Logan Paul win? That is the question. What I am going to do is put this link in the chat just in case other people join that want to join the panel to talk about this and we can discuss it. Because it's always better when you have more than one person on a stream talking versus one person. And if you're listening, don't be scared to type. I will reply to everybody who types anything. So again, I always do that. But what are we looking at here whenever we look at Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather? First off, Floyd Mayweather looks like a fucking hobbit next to Logan Paul. Like this dude really looks like a tower standing next to him. Now, height doesn't mean everything. We just saw Canelo being towered on and he won his fight. So you know, and you could think of like pull things like Mike Tyson, who was 5'11", fighting guys who were 6'5", 6'6", and beating them while Customata was alive at least until his downfall. But height isn't everything. It's not everything, and size isn't everything, but it can be everything if both guys are equally skilled. Now, again, you had Logan Paul, who's at least a head and shoulder taller than Floyd Mayweather Jr. Floyd Mayweather came in at 155, which is on the heavier side for him. I wasn't expecting Mayweather to come in at 155. I was thinking he'd be like around 150 at the heaviest. But the weight that he put on looks like good weight. He wasn't carrying a lot of fluid. He wasn't carrying any type of real fat. He looked very lean, very cut. And you can see it in his face that Floyd Mayweather still looks very youthful for being 44 years old. You would never assume that he was 44 years old because he's taking care of his body. And it looks like he's remained to take care of his body since retirement. So I'm going to assume that Floyd Mayweather coming into this fight is going to be full throttle. And again, when you constantly stay in shape, it's a lot easier to be in shape than it is to stop doing it, then try to do it again at an old age. So, with a guy who lives the right way, sleeps the right way, does the right things like Mayweather, I'm expecting him to come in at 44 years old. Realistically, he's probably no different than a guy who's 33, 34 years old age wise, because sometimes Father Time slows down for some people, especially when you take care of your body. And for Mayweather, to me, it looks like if you had to guess his age, he looks around like a 33, 34-year-old man. So that's good coming into the fight. So that's what I would expect. A guy who's really, truthfully, just what's going on actual. You can join if you want to. Just click the link. So for me, Mayweather is really, truthfully, biologically looking at him, probably around where most guys are at their peak in their mid 30s. That's how I see it. Whereas Logan Paul, you got a much taller guy who came in at 189, so it looked like he cut weight. My only question is, does the weight clause go to the night of the fight, or was it just for the weigh-ins? Because the thing with Floyd Mayweather Jr., and Canelo spoke on this before, is his weight clauses are different than most weight clauses. Most weight clauses are you weigh in the night before the fight, then you can rehydrate. However, he always has rehydration clauses, and I don't know if he did that for Jake Paul or not. Excuse me, for Logan Paul or not. Because if he did, that means Logan cannot get above, say, a certain amount of weight by the time he walks into the ring. Now, if that's in place, that could play a serious role down the stretch because when you're, say, not used to cutting weight, you cut weight, it really saps your energy, your strength, and your endurance down the stretch. So I would be curious to see how Logan looks walking into the ring? Is it going to be fuller or is he going to look the same? If he looks the same, I can guarantee there was some type of rehydration clause. If he looks bigger, then there's probably no clause. So I'm hoping that there's no clause because I want to see if Mayweather's going to do this against a guy with as little experience. I want to see the guy at least have the most possibilities of winning. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to see him weight drained and he's already got other bullshit going against him. And I'm not even talking about on a skill level. I'm just talking about in general. There's a lot of bullshit going against him in this fight. So, I would really hope that there's not a rehydration clause. I didn't see anything about it, but that doesn't mean there is or is not. So when you're looking at Logan Paul, you're looking at a much bigger guy who came in at 189 and a half, I believe, whereas Mayweather came in at 155. So you're talking about a 34 and a half pound difference. And I want to say that's somewhere around 15 kilos. I believe it should be somewhere around 15 kilos difference in weight. And the conversion to stones, I'm not quite sure. I don't remember if the stone is 15 pounds or 17 pounds. But you're talking about a significant difference. You're talking about uh super welterweight or junior middleweight fighting a cruiserweight. That's the weight class difference right here in this fight. Now, moving past that, when you look at their reach, their height is extremely different, but their reach is not that much of a difference. Floyd Mayweather Jr., as short as he is, he's got extremely long arms for his height. He's got a 72-inch reach, and that's really been exposed in most of his fights where he may be the slightly shorter guy, but he always seems to have the longer reach. And that's because of that 72-inch reach, which is a 6-foot reach. Even though, truthfully, I think they say Mayweather's 5'8". I don't think he's any taller than 5'6". Real life, real world height. In athletics, for whatever reason, they have a tendency to make people taller than what they really are. But if you were to walk up on him in real life, especially seeing the disparity and the height between him and Logan, I guarantee he's 5'6". In fact, whenever he was standing in front of Manny Pacquiao, it didn't look like much of a difference in between them. And Manny's like 5'5". So I would be really pressed to say that Mayweather's actually 5'8". I think he's 5'6". So you've got a guy who's 5'6" fighting a guy who's 6'2", and you've got a 76-inch reach, I think, if I remember correctly. I don't remember exactly. Logan either had a 76 or 78-inch reach, and Mayweather's got the 72-inch reach. But you got to remember, you got to cut that in half. So if you're looking at, say, 72 versus 76, that's a 4-inch difference in reach. However, you got to cut the body in half. So really, an arm length is only 2 inches. It's not actually 4 inches. So you got to think about it like that. And it's good, but here's the thing. Being tall in boxing can be an advantage if you can keep a shorter guy at bay. If you can keep him away from you, it can definitely be an advantage. However, long arms, long torsos is horrible against a shorter guy who can get in on top of you. Because what ends up happening is now your long arms is a disadvantage and your long torso is even more of a disadvantage because it gives the short guy a lot of real estate to hit. So your body goes on for days. He's compact. He's underneath you. Not only that, you're at the end of the short guy's punches and he's not at the end of yours, which takes away from your ability to generate punches. Now, for Logan, I've never seen him in the 2 fights that I've seen him fight. I think they were both against KSI. In fact, I know they were both against KSI. One being an amateur, which I thought he won that fight, and one being a professional, which I also thought he won that fight. But Jack Reese, the referee of this fight, deducted 2 points away from him, which cost him the fucking fight. And again, that's who Mayweather picked to referee this fight. I think Jack Reese has something against Logan Paul. I think in his first professional fight, Eddie Hearn told him, do whatever you have to do to make sure he doesn't win, because that's what he did. He got a knockdown, deducted 2 points. One was for, I think, hitting in the clinch, and the other one was hitting while KSI was down. But he didn't even hit him while he was down. The punches completely missed. So he got deducted for attempting to land shots that missed, which you can't even do. And first off, you got a guy who in his first professional fight who doesn't even really truly know the rules. He only had one amateur fight, and you're gonna deduct him 2 points without warning? Ridiculous. Let me see. I see Floyd just wearing him out and jabbing him to dizziness. Paul looks like he could hurt Floyd to the body if he catches him. So, actual jump on the panel. But and I'm gonna get to that, but I'm just talking about their dimensions. So here's the thing about it, and I talked about this in one of my videos. Teddy Atlas spoke about Floyd Mayweather not really being a seek and destroy. He's a counter puncher. He's a outside pocket fighter, and I disagree with that. He's very seek and destroy. His entire first half of his career was nothing but seek and destroy. When he got in there with Conor McGregor and figured out his timing, his power, and saw that McGregor really had no range depth. He could not identify the range of his jabs or anything. There was times where Mayweather was stepping to him and McGregor's jabs were just barely touching his nose, which means they were just barely coming up short. But when you got a guy who's been boxing for all his life, he can judge the range. He has a very good range finder. And, that's one thing that Logan's not going to have. So I don't know how well jabbing from the outside is going to do Logan Paul when he's got a guy who was seek and destroy, who did display seek and destroy in his last professional fight against Conor McGregor. Not only that, he also displayed seek and destroy against Tension in Japan, who was the 122-pound kickboxer who challenged him in boxing. So Floyd Mayweather Jr. is definitely a seek and destroy and definitely has displayed Oh man, here we go. I'm back. Damn. So I'm gonna tell y'all what happened. So as I was talking about it, some guy hit my phone with lightning, like, don't you fuck up this money, don't you fuck up this pay-per-view. Stop talking about this fight. Anyways, we're back. We're back. I'm sorry about that. My phone overheated. I was sitting in the car, and I guess my phone got so hot in the car without it being on that my phone died. Like, it wasn't hot to me, but it was hot to my phone. So we're back. Phone's no longer overheated. Um, Put this in the private chat real fast, and yeah. So we're back. But anyways, oops. That's in the private chat. Hold on. Let me put this in the public chat. All right. That's if anybody wants to join and jump on the panel. Connection sucks right now. All right. That's cool. Actual facts. That's all right. But that sucked that I just dropped in the middle of this. That really fucked up the flow. We actually had people in here, and now they're all gone. My views were actually going up. But yeah, anyways, as I was saying, so Mayweather's entire first half of his career was seek and destroy. His last fight, he went seek and destroy. And in retirement against Tenshin in Japan, he went seek and destroy, knocking the dude out in the second round, I think. It was either the second or the first round. I don't remember. It was a goofy ass fight though. And Buddy just couldn't take the shots. He was only 122 pounds though. And boo.
Hey, Tom. Not much. Damn, you cut it. Yeah, you cutting in and out a little bit. You in the car or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. You in the car?
Yeah, I'm sitting in the car right now.
Oh, that's why. Yeah.
Hold on.
It's kind of choppy.
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah.
Sound better now?
Yeah. Now it sounds better.
Okay, I appreciate that. So everything I said since I came back was choppy?
Yeah. When it was like, yes.
Yeah. So pretty much what I was saying is I just re-say it for a third time. You know, my phone died, come back, it's choppy. I guess it's still a little hot, you know. She cooling off with the AC blowing. But anyways, what I was saying is Mayweather was very seek and destroy in the first half of his career. In his last fight against Conor, he went seek and destroy, and then against Tenshin in Japan, he went seek and destroy. So I imagine in this fight, he's going to be after the first, second round, he's going to go seek and destroy on Logan. What do you think?
Yeah, that's not too far off unless Logan can hit him to the body to where he can he makes Mayweather respect him and then get Mayweather in the defensive position. And if that happens, then Logan might rush him, which that'll be a mistake too, because Mayweather's just a supreme masterclass counterpuncher, and he's gonna get hurt really bad. But yeah, I could definitely see that after 2 or 3 rounds, you let him, he'll definitely go seek and destroy and just jab the shit out of him over and over again. Give him a headache after a couple rounds, man. I just see Logan just getting a headache, after a couple and just capitulate.
Yeah, I agree with you, but let me ask you this.
Can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? Am I still going in and out?
Yeah. Now you're in it.
Okay, all right, cool.
Somewhat.
So let me ask you this. You said on the body work. That's what Logan needs to do. But here's what I'm looking at. Can Logan Paul even work his body? Because you got to understand, like I was saying earlier, I don't know if you were here yet, but Logan Paul is every bit of 6'2". You could tell that that's his real height. But we all know Floyd Mayweather is not 5'8". He's probably 5'6" at the tallest. And with there being such a height difference, do you even think Logan is skilled enough to be able to hit somebody that much shorter than him to the body?
Yeah, I don't think so. That's why that's if it's a chance that he can get him to the body, because that's his only chance to go straight to the body. Punch through Floyd's arms if he can, if Floyd even allows himself to even sit there long enough to even get hit by a punch by Logan. Which I don't think Floyd is gonna allow himself to get hit at all. You know, he's just gonna dodge and weave out of any swings that uh Paul does or whatever. So it's gonna be tough for Paul, man. It's gonna be real tough. He's gonna have to try to rush him or something. Or he'll grab hold of him, fight dirty or something. I think that's his only shot. He fights dirty, grabs him, and hits him on the clinch and shit.
My biggest problem with Logan Paul is this. Okay, I in a perfect world, what you're saying makes sense, and he should be able to, well, not be able to do that, but that's what he should do. You're right. Hit him hard to the body. Like Mayweather's very elusive. Head, shoulders, chest, much harder to hit than it is to the body because the waist, the stomach doesn't move as much. Now, here's the issue that I have with Logan Paul. When I watched him in his fight against KSI in the amateur where they had on the headgear and then without the headgear, when KSI rushed him, he was very cagey.
Yeah.
It was like he didn't know what to do. He couldn't handle the pressure, and he didn't really throw shots whenever he was being ran at. It had wild shots coming at him. So that's my biggest thing with him is he almost fights like he's scared to get hit. And if you're scared to get hit, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
Your mentality when Mayweather starts popping you nonstop because they're not going to miss.
Yeah, he damn sure did spaz out when KSI did rush him like that, man. He was spazzing out big time. If it's gonna be worse with Mayweather, because Mayweather's gonna start teeing off and put them together, so he's gonna have to throw his hands either way, man. He's gonna have to throw and just swing for the fences, man. Just swing, if Mayweather rushes him, he just gotta swing back. Don't matter if you get hit. Just try to swing back and hit the biggest target, which is Mayweather's body. Swing at Mayweather's arms if you can catch him. That's the only chance he's got, I think. And you're right, man. I think he's gonna, seek and destroy, man. He's gonna spaz out, man. So he might even drop his hands because, in that KSI fight, man, he was losing. He was gassing out immediately, man. The first, 10 to 15 punches he threw, he was gassing out. Just moving around. He was gassing out. And Logan and Paul is a big guy. So he's what, 200, right? Naturally, he walks around at 200. So he had to lose quite a bit. Yeah, it's kind of staticky, man. It's kind of
you were sounding real.
Shit. Let me go in and out.
All right.
Yeah. Let me.
But yeah, I think what Axel was saying right there, the gas tank. That is something that Logan cannot afford to run out of. If you run out of gas tank, you are going to be in for a long or very short night because he will be like a fucking tidal wave coming up on you. Like the amount of pressure that you're going to feel against Floyd Mayweather is just going to get worse, and the shots are going to become more frequent, and he's just going to be accumulating damage non-stop. Like what they call Mayweather. I've never seen.
Oh man, I can't hear you too good. Your connection's really so static. Yeah, I can't.
Like we need to move back. Damn, we lost him again. Fuck. But yeah, no. But as I was saying, like that's one thing Logan has had to have worked on. It's actually what was just saying, and that's one of the things I was bringing up earlier about making weight, weighing 190. Are you going to be able to rehydrate? Are you going to be able to go back to your natural size? Or are you going to have to remain 190 because of a rehydration clause? These are the answers I do not have. And that's another thing. Like when you didn't have to make a you can't hear me either. Is it me or you? Damn, that sucks. But yeah, whenever he didn't have a rehydration clause against KSI, he was still gassing bad. And it did with him having to actually cut weight. Yo, bro, it's bad. Is it my connection or your connection? Let me type it because if I'm sounding like static, yeah, it's fuck. So that sound like a dying Autobot. I sound like Optimus Prime over here. Like shit. It's got to be the heat. It's got to be the heat. I'm making my phone open. I didn't want like all the air noise to be in the background. Let me know if it's getting any better. I'm blowing cold air on my phone. This is just a shitty stream, and it keeps doing this. I'm gonna have to use these whenever I'm home and I'm on the Wi-Fi, and it's not super hot. Let me know if it starts to clear up. If not, this is just a failed stream. That sucks. Actual, is the sound any better? First off, let me take this case off. That will help out significantly with reducing heat if it's overheating. All right, hold on. Okay, I can feel it on my phone too. You is static lots your spark, Damn, they told me the old spark was supposed to give me powers, not fucking turn me into sparks. All right, this phone should be cooling off here very quickly. All right, how's it now? Is it better? Because now my phone's starting to get cool in my hand. This sucks. This stream was a fail, bro. You probably hear the air blowing right now. All right, how about now, actual? My phone is cold to touch. Is it still staticky? If it's staticky, I'm gonna end the stream here because it's just not gonna work till I get home. How do we sound right now? Yes, it is. Fuck! Oh, is it better? It's good now? Okay, there we go. Bam. Perfect. All right. Try to rejoin. Because it might have just been my phone overheating, and that's why you were sounding staticky. It might not have been on your end at all. It might have been 1,000% on my end. Because you were sounding really good until I started sounding really bad. Then you started sounding really bad. So it might be 100% me. Damn, this stream was like destined to fail from the beginning. That's okay. People probably joined too, like.
All
Right, you sound perfect. So it had to be my phone.
Yeah.
But you know what it is too, man? Look, everything's against my stream. I gotta change my picture, bro.
Because, people are probably clicking the stream thinking it's a girl talking boxing. Then they hear a man's voice like, what the fuck is going on? That's one of them Atlanta girls right there.
Yeah, man. They think you're a tranny or some shit, bro.
I know, man. No, I was just saying, I do agree with you that he was gassing in the KSI. And this is something I brought up earlier. And I don't know if you know, did Mayweather do one of his notorious rehydration clauses on Logan?
Shit, I don't know, bro. I don't think it matters because it's an exhibition. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know, man. I have no, admittedly, I haven't really been paying attention to this fight too much. I just haven't.
I feel you. I don't think Logan's a boxer. I think Jake shows a lot of potential, but I don't think Logan has any ability to fight at all.
I think Logan's better off joining the WWE and being, a WWE character. You know what I mean? Getting, body slammed. I think he's better off doing wrestling. WWE, call up, Shane McMahon or whatever. You know what I mean? Go over there at WWE, man. I think he make big moves over there. He get some good money over there. But not boxing, man. He's already lost or whatever twice to KSI or whatever, and nah.
Yeah, but I'm gonna say this: he should have beat KSI. Like Jack Reese fucked him by deducting 2 points for no fucking reason. Like it was bullshit. Because had he not got deducted those 2 points, he would have won the fight.
Yeah.
And
I think the Brits probably paid off Jack Reese and shit.
But that's the problem. That's the problem. That's a big problem because Jack Reese is the referee of this fight.
Yeah, see, man, Mayweather got that money, so he's gonna pay. Probably paid him off already.
I'm just looking at this whole fight is designed. Let's say Logan came in better than we've ever seen him. This motherfucker walked into the ring like Superman and looks like he's been boxing all his life. I still see this fight completely tilted for him to lose because, like I said, they got Jack Reese as the referee. There can be no winner. So it doesn't matter if we think he wins on points, he still doesn't win, right? Number 3, they're fucking 12-ounce gloves. Like, who the fuck fights in 12-ounce gloves? Is this female boxing or men boxing?
Yeah, it's a sparring match. It's essentially a bona fide sparring match. It's just a sparring exhibition. That's it. 12-ounce gloves. That's what you spar with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With headgear and shit. So that's why I haven't really been paying attention to this fight, this so-called fight, man. I think it's just a high-priced sparring match. All
right, well then let's switch gears. Let's get off the high-priced sparring match and let's talk about the brother, Jake Paul and Tyrone Woodley. How do you feel about that one?
Oh man, I think yesterday during UGC Live, Ross Clyde in the chat had brought up a good point that it's set up for Jake Paul to win. You know what I'm saying? Because you look at it, Jay Leon Love is training Jake Paul, and then Floyd Mayweather is offering his services to Woodley, and we all know that Jay Leon Love was an employee for Floyd for a long time. You know what I'm saying? He fought under Floyd, and I don't know if he's still part of the TMT or whatever crew over there, but I mean, it's not. I don't think it's too crazy to say that, hey, there might be a cause like, hey, man, this is this guy's game plan, and this is what Woodley's gonna do or whatever. You never know. You know what I mean? It's just conspiracies here, the theory. You know what I mean? But hey, who knows? What do I know? I'm just an outsider looking in, and I don't know, man. I think Woodley, I think he has a chance to hurt Jake Paul, but I think there's too much momentum in Jake Paul right now. There's popularity, and I think they're gonna have it to where Jake Paul probably maybe goes all 12 with Woodley, if that, or if it is a 12-round fight, or he stops him, or some kind of stoppage happens. But yeah, I mean, it is a dangerous fight for Jake Paul too. I mean, if it is real, and if Woodley's got that mean intentions, it it could be a real bad night for Jake Paul, man. He could really get hurt. Woodley's, even though he's 40, he's got 4 losses or whatever. Still, he's a former champion, and that guy knows how to hit. You know what I mean? He knows how to hit. And,
right. But
Paul,
here's the other aspect though. Like, I understand that like Love worked for Mayweather and he fight for Al Heyman and all of that. But the other aspect to it is you could be right. They could be like, yo, this is what we teach them how to do. This is how you counter. That is a possibility. But there's also the other part to where Jake Paul take Mayweather's hat and maybe Mayweather just wants to see him get whooped.
Yeah.
So
true.
So that might be why he offered his services to be like, yo, this motherfucker took my hat. I want to see him get knocked the fuck out. Woodley, this is how we're gonna knock him the fuck out.
Yeah, it's true. And Woodley, he before MMA, he's like a street fighter, you know what I mean? He know how to throw some hands. He can throw some hands.
Yeah, but this is the shit that I don't like, right? Because I heard it, Woodley bring that out. He was like, yeah, before I was a professional fighter, I was fighting in these streets. Let me tell you something. That don't mean big shit in a professional setting. Like, you could be fighting in the streets all day and get your ass whooped by some fucking rich kid from the suburbs who's been boxing all his fucking life. I mean, it doesn't cross over. A prime example of that was Kimbo Slice. Kimbo was knocking everybody out in the backyard. He get into the fucking MMA, fight a dude who was like 200 pounds. He outweighed him by like 40 pounds. The motherfucker had pink hair and knocked him out with the first clean shot he landed on him. Like, it's not the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got what you're saying.
Like,
but we never seen Jake Paul take a real clean shot from a real fighter, though. You know what I mean? A real fighter.
No,
we never seen him take the punch. We don't know how his jaw is. So, Woodley's gonna test that jaw for sure.
Here's my question though. We've never seen his jaw tested, but with all the fucking professional boxers that he has come through his training camp, do you not think in sparring his jaw's been touched?
I'm pretty sure it has. But we haven't seen the footage. We don't know ourselves. Possibly, yeah, it could. I mean, everybody's jaw gets tapped in sparring. It's just a matter of who kisses and tells. And nobody has told yet of Paul's jaw. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's told yet, and we don't know. It's a mystery. That's what I'm saying. Like, I would say if Paul gets hit clean that first time and he takes it real well, then I could say, Paul might wear out Woodley the later rounds. You know what I mean? If it does go the later rounds, because Woodley, he's used to 25-minute UFC match, right? That's how long it goes usually, 25 minutes.
Yeah, championship,
right?
Yeah.
And Jake Paul, he's been sparring a lot. He's been sparring for 45 minutes, 50 minutes straight. He's got good stamina. He's good. He's young. He's fresh, and his jaw has not been tested yet. And we haven't seen him get hit to the body much at all. So we don't know. We don't know against a professional fighter, even though Woodley's not a boxer. He's still a professional fighter. He's still a champion. He was a stand-up guy before anything. He's a stand-up dude. So,
actual, dude in the chat, Axel, he brings up a good point. We actually have seen him hit by a professional fighter. He was being held by a whole shit ton of 7-foot-tall bodyguards, and Mayweather clocked him. He fucking got his tooth fucked up and gave him a black eye. He didn't go out.
Yeah, but he was looking like a drunk crackhead at 7-Eleven. Like, let's go.
I got your hat. I got your hat.
Yo, Mayweather caught him clean too through all them bodyguards, man.
Yeah,
You know?
that's that precision punching. Like
Yeah, man.
that shit is funny, man. Logan was talking about, yeah, Mayweather hit my brother clean while he was being held, and that dude, like, there was like 50 cameras and not one camera caught the punch. Like, that's the thing about it, man. Logan doesn't know the type of speed that's about to be coming his fucking way. Like, he has no idea how quick these shots are gonna be thrown.
Yeah. He he's gonna get a rude awakening. Paul, Jake Paul, man, he's definitely a good student. He definitely pays attention, and he does apply it in the ring, man. We've seen it already. Can he do that same thing to a professional fighter like a Woodley, a former champion, like a Woodley? It remains to be seen, but I think I'm definitely gonna watch this fight. Because I want to see how it goes, and I like what Jake Paul is saying as far as the things that UFC fighters go through and other fighters, not getting paid enough, and this, that,
Oh
and the
yeah,
third. And I like that shit, man. To call Dana White out on this bullshit. I like that shit, man, because he's right. He's right. Dana White owns those freaking dudes. He's the
yeah.
modern day he's the modern day Batiatus, of the Spartacus series. That's Dana White, man. He's a freaking he's an owner of these guys.
Well, that's one thing. Speaking of Dana White, this is one thing I've never understood. Like, I'm going to bring them up. I normally don't bring up this group of people, but the LDBC, right? They always talk about Eddie Hearn doing wages. He's a slave master and all this bullshit, right? However, his fighters are the highest paid fighters in boxing. Now, you got a guy like
Yeah,
Dana White who actually gives these guys slave wages. Like, you got a guy like John Jones whose highest payday was $1 million. $1 million for arguably one of the best fighters in UFC history. And the most he's ever made was $1 million. And
that's crazy.
like, why is nobody calling this motherfucker out?
Yeah, man, it's great. Oh, shout out to UGC Flame in the chat, K&M in the
Yeah, I dropped
chat,
the link for him. I dropped the link.
uh,
Hopefully he'll
and
join.
Axel, Wallerin. I don't know how to say that shit. Axel, I'm gonna just call you Ax. Shout out to you for participating in the chat, and yeah, man, that's sickening. You know what I'm saying? He makes so much money off these guys. Basically, these guys are fighting for room and board and food for the most part. You know what I'm saying? That's what they fight. They fighting for room and board and food. These guys ain't driving around in a brand new 2021 cars. They still got the damn Civic from high school and shit. You know what I'm saying? Seriously, man. These guys are struggling, man. They're struggling. And they gotta, if you get a knockout, you get a spectacular knockout, you get a $10,000, $5,000 bonus or wherever they're at in their career, if they just starting off.
Hey
I don't know,
man,
man. It's crazy.
Like Kanye said, win the Super Bowl and drive off in a Hyundai. These dudes are winning UFC titles and drive off in a Hyundai. Like, that shit don't make no fucking sense. And to touch on that, so let's go to that. Ben Askren, he had 3 fights with the UFC. He made more fighting Jake Paul than he made in all 3 of those fights combined. And this is a dude, when he went to the UFC, now he was retired. They brought him out of retirement, so he wasn't the same fighter. However, he was a multi-champion. He was like a champion in 3 different MMA organizations before he went to the UFC. And he made less money in 3 fights than he did in 1 fight with Jake. That is fucking insanity.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But as far as let me see, you can be the best student, but if you don't have experience, you ain't shit. Jake Paul ain't beating any pro boxer. See, this is what I hate. And this is the thing about it. That statement right there, I do not like at all. KNM 84, because here's the problem. Not all pro boxers are cut the same. Okay, just because you're a pro boxer doesn't really mean anything, because boxing is different than any other sport that I can think of. Any professional sport is completely different. Other sports, you have to have a certain amount of experience to be considered professional, okay? You have to be on a certain level. You have to be picked to get on this team. You have to be drafted, like if you're a track runner, you know what I mean? Even though they're not really professional, they're Olympic runners, right? You have to have some type of ability to be on the highest stage. However, in boxing, the only thing that you have to do is apply for a professional boxing license, get cleared medically, and guess what? Now you're a pro boxer. So with that being said,
Yep.
take a guy like Tommy Fury, who I put in this title. Tommy Fury fought a dude with, I think, either 100 or close to 100 losses. Now, how the fuck are you going to tell me that's a professional boxer and Jake Paul went a guy with 100 losses? Like, he would fucking spark a guy with 100 losses because that guy shouldn't even be fucking boxing. So I
Yeah.
disagree with this. I think, in my opinion, Jake Paul is fighting harder fights than most fighters would fight in their first few fights coming pro. I mean, you could just look at most pro boxers. Like they're fighting guys in their first 5 to 6, 7, 8 fights that are like 0 and 30, 0 and 20, 0 and 10. Like these are guys who have never even won a professional fight, but they're considered professional boxers. You see what I'm saying? So like that term he'll never be the professional boxer is bullshit because there's a lot of professional boxers he would knock the fuck out in the first round. However, if you're talking about elite boxers, of course he can't beat them. He doesn't, he's not on an elite level yet.
Yeah, definitely not yet, man. Definitely not yet, man. Maybe he probably have a shot against some C class dudes up in there. I give him a chance to get some C class dudes, but he's definitely not, I don't think, ready for any B class fighters yet, man.
No, I mean, he would be fighting at cruiserweight. It would be like him fighting a Coley. A Coley would destroy him. He would stand no
Yeah,
chance against a Coley.
yeah, but Coley spark him out, man. Willie might decapitate
Oh,
Jake.
shit. Yeah, I think I'm muting myself. No, I was reading up his comment. He said Willie might decapitate Jake. I hope he is right with his maker before that bell rings. I think Willie's going to be the one decapitated. I really do. Didn't he get
For me,
knocked
it's a
out
50.
recently?
Who? Woodley?
Wood,
Oh, so yeah,
Woodley, yeah. I know
yeah,
he's on a
yeah.
four-loss losing streak.
Thought he got submitted. He got choked out or whatever. Thought he got choked out.
I thought one of those 4 losses he got knocked out.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I know. I mean, he probably did get submitted in one of those 4 losses, but I could have sworn in one of those 4 he got knocked out. But regardless, like it's like Ben Askren. Ben Askren thought it was going to be sweet, thought it was going to be the same, and when he got hit one clean time, he went to sleep. Well, not really to sleep. He got up, but you know, here's the thing. When I first watched that fight, I thought the fight was stopped early, okay? However, there's a cell phone footage from like a different angle where you see like Ben Askren from behind and the referee's facing you. And after he wiped off them gloves after all that time, he still stumbled. So he was out of the fight. He was done. One clean shot.
Yeah,
And that's the thing. Like, it's like even Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor was known to be this killer, this knockout artist. And he hit Mayweather with an extremely clean uppercut, and it didn't do anything to Mayweather. Like the way that these boxers throws punches are different than how an MMA guy throws punches. They don't generate that same type of power. So they're not used to taking the same type of punches, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like they know how to throw kicks better. They know how to, I guess, elbow better, knee better, wrestle better, submit better. But when it comes to throwing shots, they've never felt punches as hard as a trained boxer is going to throw because they're much more squared in their stances. They don't have the full rotation of a punch hitting them in the face like they would against a boxer.
yeah. It's just it's a different skill set, man. It's definitely a different skill set.
And then Woodley's really short too. How tall is Woodley? Like 5'8", 5'9"? He looked really short.
Look like 5'9", 5'9", 5'10", maybe. If that.
How tall is Jake? 6 foot?
I think he's like 6'1" or some shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Like, I really think Jake is gonna sleep him. That's just my opinion. I don't think he's confident in himself. I don't think he's as confident as people like Sporting thinks he is. Because if he was confident, he would have taken that double or nothing bet that Jake offered him. Like, Jake straight told him, like, bro, if you beat me, I will pay you double your money. But if you lose to me, you get no money. And he didn't want to accept the bet or even acknowledge that that bet was made.
Yeah. Well, you never know, man. Judges. I mean, well, not judges, but the ref. You never know. He's probably got things going through his mind at that time, like he's just talking.
I don't know, actual. Like think about this, okay? If in your mind you knew you could beat the living shit out of me, right? You know in your mind that you're gonna knock me the fuck out. You ain't even gotta worry about the judges because you're gonna knock me out. You know I can't fight. Would you not take a bet if I said I'll pay you my purse on top of your purse if you knock me out, if you were that confident?
Yeah, probably would. Yeah, more than likely.
That's what I'm saying. Like, bruh, if you offer me something like that and I know I'm gonna whoop you, ain't no way in fuck I'm not gonna take that deal. Like, I get double the money
It's like I got to get that in writing right now. Put it in the
right now.
contract. Get the
Sign
contract
it.
out. Sign it.
Sign it right
Yeah.
here. Somebody give me a piece of tissue if you ain't got paper. We gonna sign this right now. But let's say he gets through Woodley, right? Did you see Tommy Fury fight yesterday?
No, I didn't catch it, man. I didn't get to catch it. I heard it was he struggled.
Struggled badly.
Yeah.
And that was
And that was
against a
the
guy who was. Go
that was
ahead.
domestic guy, domestic level guy.
I wouldn't even consider him domestic level yet. It was a guy who only had two fights. He won both his fights, but the guys that he beat, one was 0-8 and one was 0-4. So this guy hadn't really beat anybody.
Like a club level fighter.
Yeah,
like a club level
exactly.
fighter.
Yeah, like a club, like a bar fighter. Yeah, yeah. And he struggled. He struggled bad. And that power, that knockout power that he supposedly has, was not there. Was not seen. So that's what I was going to ask you. How you think he would fare against Jake Paul? But being that you didn't see him fight, you really couldn't make the comparison.
Yeah, I gotta see if I'm more interested in him versus Marcellus Wilder. If Marcellus Wilder can redeem himself for that knockout loss and crip walk that he got on him.
Let me tell you what's going to happen. Actual Marcellus is going to knock out Tommy Fury. I promise you. And Deontay Wilder is going to get knocked the fuck out. So the little brother will win, but the big brother's going to lose.
So the little brother's gonna save the day for the Wilder family, and Deontay's gonna get another suit from the Queer Eyes for the Straight Guys.
I hope he doesn't come out in another suit. Like, if this dude comes out in another suit, I'm gonna turn it off. Like, even I don't even care how much I pay for this fight. Like, I really don't want to pay for it, but I've got to cover it. But I swear, if he comes out looking like a transformer, I'm turning the shit off. Like, I'm done because I already know the excuse is coming.
The suit was too hot.
It was too hot. The lights blinded me. I couldn't see. Y'all can tell I couldn't see. I was blinking a lot. Y'all didn't see me blinking? Oh my goodness. Like, the excuses are fucking ridiculous.
Wilder's gonna twerk in the ring when he comes in it.
He said Marcellus Wilder can't knock nobody out, not even Tommy Fury. I don't know. Because you got to understand, we don't even know. It's never been released what he actually popped hot for. So that man might be coming flaming hot to the ring and just hit Fury and knock him the fuck out. But you know, I always found that funny, actual. Nobody ever brought that up. Marcellus Wallace, right? He gets popped hot for a drug that's non-disclosed, right? They did a good job at covering it up. However, Deontay Wilder talked all that shit about Anthony Joshua being on some shit, who's never popped hot, but then get his brother pops hot, who's in every camp he's in. Makes you wonder.
Yeah, it definitely makes you wonder because they always talking about everybody's on something, but I always wondered that too because he don't swim, right? He don't swim or anything. He don't run, but magically he has stamina and shit. For
Right.
12 rounds.
Right. You talking about Wilder, the big one?
Yeah.
Yeah. He don't do no 10-mile runs. He don't believe in swimming. All he does is jump rope and work the mitts and spar a little bit.
Well, I think he said he does swimming. He does swim a bit, but not too much like he said. He
swimming though, that's a fucking workout right there, especially when you're real lean. Like I'd rather run 10 miles any day than swim in a fucking pool.
Yeah, I'm an iron duck, man. I sink, real fast.
I'm right there with you, man. I float like a fucking turd in a toilet. Like I barely move. Like whenever I'm swimming,
bro.
when I'm swimming, dude, it look like I'm fighting for my life because really I am, because it's so hard for me to stay above. And that shit sucks. Like this little 3-year-old's out swimming me.
Yeah, it's true, man. My daughter's out swimming me all the time, man.
He said he's so slow. But that's because where I come from, it's the frozen tundra. We don't swim in water. We walk on top of it year round. Upstate New York, everything's frozen. Like,
yeah, but I used to go to the beach, up there in Orchard Beach, and I never went in the water in there. That shit was shit water, It's like the fucking Angie and shit. Who the fuck is going in there?
Nobody.
Nobody. You're looking crazy. You come out that water, you got AIDS.
That's where it started, bro. That's where it started.
I have a fucking needle or two up your ass and shit.
That's like boardwalk in Jersey. Like, yo, bro, get in there water if you want to. But on that note, I'm gonna end it here. I swore I was only gonna do an hour stream. They only really did 35 minutes with all the fucking issues that I had, but it's all good. I'm gonna end it here though. But I appreciate you jumping on.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, bro.
Anytime, man. Anytime. But yeah, that's all we have. We talked about a bunch of different things. You just have to listen to the playback. And hopefully next time I'll have better equipment to where I don't go in and out with my Walmart Wi-Fi. UGC wants to get on before I end it. There goes Black. Comes at the very end.
Yeah. Let me hop off so he can get on, because that way. Oh, there he goes. Connection still good.
What's the deal, man?
Hey, we about to end it, bro.
Man. All right. Well, great live, man. I was listening to the live, in the chat and whatnot on the road, but yeah, man, I'm gonna probably go ahead and purchase the fight my damn self, so I'll be tuning in. Fuck it.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy it just to see what Logan does. I think he's gonna get knocked out, but it'll be interesting while it lasts.
Yeah, I'm gonna just say I'm buying it for Badu Jack. But Badu Jack got cheated, so I just want to see Badu get his little tune up and win, and then see how Floyd look after all of this time and shit. But yeah, man, close your live down. Shout out to Actual, shout out to Tony Reviews and everybody that caught the playback. Y'all know what it is.
Oh, real fast before you leave.
Yes, sir.
Speaking of the other fights, right? So Hurd is fighting on this card, right? Let me tell you something. If I was Floyd Mayweather Jr., the guy that Hurd is fighting, I don't know his fucking name, but that motherfucker, what's that?
Luis Arias.
Yeah, Luis Arias. That motherfucker right there would never be invited to fight on any card I ever have again, because he was over there trying to fuck up the money, talking about Yeah, we having a real fight. Mayweather, he a fake fight. That ain't a real fight. So tune in
Damn,
for us. This the real fight. Like, bro, you were fucking up the money. What the fuck are you doing?
damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's not
Hey,
too smart.
only one thing I disagree with you you said, man. I don't think Marcellus beats nobody with the last name Fury. You ripping, dog. Marcelo's going to sleep if you get in there. Now I did see a little bit of Tommy Fury or whatever. I think I seen like a little bit of the first round. He did look uncomfortable as shit, and it seemed like he got an issue with pressure. But Marcelo's ain't no kind of problem at all. So we got to get off that.
I don't know, man. I don't think
So what
Tommy
you're
will fight
saying
him, bro.
is he's gonna do the Irish jig on his ass on Marcellus Wilder. He's gonna do the Irish crip walk, right?
Man, all I know is Marcelo's gonna be looking up at the ceiling lights. That's all I fucking know. Shit.
I don't
But yeah,
know,
he can
man.
do the
I'm telling you, like, Tommy does not look good. Like, as bad as Marcelo's is, I think it's better than Tommy. I really do.
damn. That's terrible then. But
Like,
yeah, man. I'm gonna jump up, man. I don't wanna hold you, dog.
yeah, all right. So everybody who jumped on, I appreciate you being late. Oh shit, I'm the only one on here now. Actual Facts both have channels. Go check them out. And everybody in the chat that joined, I thank y'all for joining and typing. On that note, I'm gonna end it here. And y'all have a good day.